Welcome to Acer Bonsai, and today we're going to be looking at my Japanese Acer. This is a tree I've had for about 3 years and I bought it from nursery stock. The trunk was probably about that thick, so over the years it's probably tripled in size. This is a tree that has developed really quickly. It's been quite a vigorous grower and I've managed to build up some ramification on the tree quite quickly. We're coming into probably mid-autumn now in the UK. We're in late October and the tree is now starting to shed its leaves and go dormant. So this is a really good time to come in, check the tree for pests, remove the leaves and clear up the surface of the soil so that insects can't hibernate in there over winter, and then do some initial branch selection, reducing from say 3 down to 2, but I'm not going to prune any of the tips off because that will cause it to die back over winter. I can see the tree is super healthy. We've got some really nice buds, and in the new year what I want to do is actually begin to air layer off some of these branches, and hopefully it will back bud, and this will then allow me to create a whole new canopy. So I will really encourage that taper in the tree. At the moment we've got some nice taper, but the branch on the right is a similar thickness to the trunk, so we want to air layer that off, and then we can kind of create that nice taper. So I'm going to zoom you in and I'll give you a 360 degree view of the tree, so you can see it in all its fall colours. So here's the front of the tree, coming around to the side, to the back of the tree, round to the side, back to the front. It's also had some serious trunk chops over the years. You can see, I'll zoom you in, there's some big branches that have been removed here. A really large one here and one at the top there. So let's begin by removing all of these leaves. I can see that none of them are green, which means that the tree has drawn all that nutrients back into it and it's probably storing it in the trunk. So I'm going to come in with my scissors and just begin removing all the leaves. So some of these leaves just fall off when I pull them lightly. Others are still quite attached to the branch and require me to just prune them off. If they come off lightly when I pull them, that's absolutely fine, but I don't want to be tugging the branch, as that can actually damage the tree itself or cause the buds to die off. So when I feel a little bit of resistance, I'll pause and I'll come in and just prune that off. I have noticed there's a couple of insects in and out of the tree itself, so I'm really glad that I'm doing this because I can spray it all down and kill any kind of scale or anything that might not want to be on the tree over winter. Also, when removing the leaves like this, it allows you to get a really clear view of the branch structure, and this, particularly with maples when it's quite a dense foliage, really helps you continue to refine the tree. So you can see that I'm just lightly pulling the leaves off the tree. Ones that resist, like this one, I'll just pinch it, and that just really ensures that I'm not going to damage any of the branches. So I'm really glad I did that, because as I was cleaning the leaves off the surface of the soil, I found quite a few eggs on the leaf itself. So I'm going to make sure that now that I've removed that off the soil, I'm going to spray the tree down after I've pruned it. But also I'm going to throw away those leaves straight away into the bin outside, because if I leave them inside between now and the next tree that I prune, the change in temperature might cause whatever those eggs are to wake up, and then they'll kind of get in my plant room, which will mean that all my tropical trees will get loads of insect problems. So I need to make sure I throw that away after this video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom you in, and we're going to have a look at the branch structure. There's not too much that needs to be done. We're going to just do some initial branch thinning, as most of the pruning will come early spring, so that we don't lose any of these branches. So let's zoom you in and take a look. So here's the front of the tree, round to the side, back of the tree, to the side, and round to the front. This tree's also got a really nice base. You can see here that the nabari is starting to grow and thicken up, and get really nice and wide. So I'm really pleased with how that's coming along. I'm going to come in now and do some branch selection, reducing branches down from 3 down to 2, and so on. So I'm going to work my way up the branch. These are fine, these are fine. This is where we start to get our first cluster. So we've got a bud here that we don't need. We can get rid of that. I really like this branch here, however it's underneath this one. This branch is nice and straight, so actually what I'm going to do is remove that entire branch, like so. You'll notice that I've given a bit of a stub for dieback, and then these 2 branches should take over. I'm going to add some of this cut paste to the branch to stop it from drying out over winter. And what we've done there now is create some really nice taper on the tree. Coming up, the rest of the branch is fine. We can't really tip this yet until spring, so we're going to leave that. On this side here, we've got it's splitting into 2, which is fine. It comes up, splits into 2 again. Usually I would remove this branch because it goes back into the tree. However, it's likely that I'm going to air layer this branch off later, so I will need this branch. So we're going to keep that. Keep coming up the tree, it splits into 2, which is great. This branch is fine. This branch we can remove the tip from it, like so. Just give it a bit of cut paste. And now that branch is all pruned up. Continuing up the tree, we've got another division, which is fine. Coming up here, got another division, also fine. Another division, fine. Going to remove a stub. This forward branch here, again looking at it, we've got a division of 2. We've actually got a bud forming here, and a bud and a branch back there, so we can remove this branch. And on the branch up here, we can remove the crotch branch there. Again, I'm just going to come in and just put some branch sealant on to stop it from drying out. So coming up the branch on this side, we've actually got 3 coming from one spot, so I can remove that branch there. Coming up the branch at the front, it divides into 2 and 2 again and 2 again, which is fine. Coming up to this branch, we've got a division of 2, which we can remove this stump. Further up, another division of 2 where we've got a lot of branches starting to form here, so we need to make some decisions and prune it up. So this branch here is too low, can remove that, and the one above it. And now we're down to 3, and remove this one. On the branch behind now, we've got a stump that we can remove. And we've now got all of these branches coming from one place, so we can remove that. And the rest are fine. With it being an air layer, and we're going to air layer it off next year, I don't want to make too many drastic decisions at this stage because the orientation of the branch might change when we air layer it off. So we have this branch at the front and then an opposite one at the back, which is more developed, but isn't really kind of growing in a good direction. It's not flowing outwards. So in this case, I'm actually going to remove that branch. It wasn't too healthy. I'm going to add some cut paste there as well. So that's the tree all pruned up now. The last thing I want to do is spray it down with some rose clear, and that should kill any insects that are on there. So here's some of the branches that we've removed today. This one, quite big one, and then just some smaller twiggy pieces. So nothing too substantial. So that's the tree all pruned up and ready to go back out on the bench. What I'll do is put it in a shaded area with a shelter, and this will ensure that the soil doesn't get too wet over winter and cause any root rot. In the UK, in the south, we do get a lot of rain, so it's important that I winterproof them properly. If the frost does come and it gets quite cold this winter, I'll also put up some sheets around the frame itself, and this just protects it from the wind. So thank you guys for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video and want to see more of this content, make sure to give us a like and a subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.